Here for IUS TV Sports, I'm Zion Brown, here with the newest Indiana men's basketball coach, Darren DeVries. How's it going, Coach?
Doing great. It's been an exciting day so far, and looking forward to what follows.
You've repeatedly now over the last couple of days called Indiana one of the best jobs in the country. Just why do you feel that way about what you're walking into?
Yeah, when you have a fan base and the tradition that we have here, and then the alignment you have from the university president, the athletic directors, and the whole administration, and the resources that are committed to help you be successful, there's tremendous opportunity for us to come in and have success. And now we got to go do our part and go work and build a staff and a roster that can go out and compete.
I wanted to ask you about that. Just over the next few weeks, it's going to be a big deal for you building that staff, building that roster. What's the approach, and what does that look like for you over the next few weeks here in the March and going into April?
Yeah, basically it's a lot of long hours and long days, but it's a good work, and excited about the work we're about to put in, and can't wait to get that started.
I realized that back in 2015 when you were an assistant at Creighton, you coached here in a game in Assembly Hall. Just what do you remember about that day and just the environment that you walked into as an opposing coach back then?
Yeah, I remember. I would rather be sitting on the other bench. that would be much more beneficial. So it's everything you thought as an opponent. Very tough place to play. Very passionate, very loud fan base, and I think that's a critical piece that when you're in Big Ten play to have a home court advantage the way we do.
What is the biggest stylistically thing that you want to change here at Indiana?
I don't think it's about changing anything. It's just about doing and playing the way we want to play, and we want to be tough and physical and disciplined on defense, and then on offense be aggressive and try to take advantage of as many broken floor opportunities as we can, and then take care of the basketball on the offensive end, so we can make sure that we're getting a quality shot as often as we can, but also making sure that we can be free and aggressive as much as possible.
Darren, thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome back to Before the Basket, where we give you the rundown on Indiana's men's basketball. Alongside Kara Adams, I'm Zion Brown. How's it going, Kara?
Pretty good. A little chilly in Bloomington today, but other than that, pretty good.
Well, let's go back before last week we talked about kind of IU's first big matchup of the year coming against South Carolina. The Hoosiers won that game at home, 87-71 against the Gamecocks. So, Kara, what stood out to you in that big win for IU? Thanks to William for joining us to talk about some Louisville. And now to wrap up today's show, let's preview some other potential matchups IU could have in Atlantis, depending on what happens in that Louisville game and what happens on the other end of this bracket as well. They'll either play Gonzaga or West Virginia on Thursday on Thanksgiving Day. So, Kara, what are you looking at in those two teams between Gonzaga and West Virginia? Well, Kara, I got one more thing for you.
All right.
It's Thanksgiving coming up this week. I need your starting three: entree, side, dessert. I can't wait. I between basketball and food, like Thanksgiving week, it's just everything. It's everything. Well, thanks again for joining me, Kara. Thanks to William McDermott as well. And thanks to you for watching this week's edition of Before the Basket. A trip to the Sweet 16 is on the line here from Colonial Life Arena today as Indiana takes on South Carolina on the road here in this second round game. For IUS TV Sports, I'm Zion Brown live from Columbia, and we've got a good one coming up. And something to note in this game is South Carolina and their bench scoring. This Gamecocks team scores over 42 points a game coming off the bench. Their top two scorers come off the bench. That's the best in the country as far as bench production. So Indiana really has to play a full 40-minute game. You cannot let off when the South Carolina bench comes in. And for the Hoosiers, if they're going to pull off this massive upset, they just have to shoot well from three. That is one thing that I think is a non-negotiable heading into this game. Indiana shot just 5 of 17 from three against Utah on Friday. That was good enough to beat the Utes. I don't think that will be good enough to beat the Gamecocks. And something that Terry Moore and the whole Indiana squad emphasized yesterday was transition defense. With just how athletic this Gamecocks team is and how good they are at getting up and down the floor, the Hoosiers have to be ready to get back in transition. If they get beat up and down the floor, this could get ugly early here. But I'll have updates all day at IUS TV Sports for today's game that starts at 3. After winning 5 straight games, Indiana men's basketball came to Iowa City and got trounced 85-60 against Iowa. Indiana struggled with turnovers all game as the Hoosiers committed 16 turnovers, leading to 24 Iowa points.
We can't have games like that when we get out on the road. I mean, you gotta consistently put yourself in position where you got a shot and winning a basketball game, and we didn't give ourselves a chance tonight.
I think we just played uncharacteristic, like you said, during the 5-game stretch, we've been playing really good basketball, holding on to it, and I think tonight we just got a little bit outside of ourselves.
IU's turnovers were a huge factor in Iowa tallying 26 fast break points. On Saturday, the Hoosiers had no answers for the Hawkeyes' up-tempo offense.
It's just hard to play defense when you turn the ball over a lot. You know, they have a lot of advantages, and that's what I said. We turned the ball over a good amount of times tonight, so they were able to get out. And he said we spotted them points, so that already puts us in that hole.
The Hoosiers never gained rhythm on offense as they shot 41% from the field. IU's 60 points were the least it has scored this season.
Just one pass and freeze with the basketball, and that's something that we just can't do, not against good teams.
Like they started from the beginning of the game, turn the ball over. I mean, that kind of like puts you in your head, like, okay, now we have to, you know, get those plays back. And it's kind of hard to, you know, try to do that and be in your same flow. But, I mean, it happens. But like I said, we just got to be better from the start and be able to play all the way through all 40 minutes.
Indiana is now 13-4 and 4-2 in Big Ten play. The journey only hardens for the Hoosiers, who host number 13 Illinois in Assembly Hall on Saturday. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, I'm Zion Brown, IUS TV Sports. Complete dominance. That's what Indiana women's basketball displayed on Saturday afternoon in its 78-56 win against Purdue. The Hoosiers controlled the game wire to wire as they got out to a 20-2 lead before 5 minutes had even passed in the first quarter. IU's strong start gave the Boilermakers no chance to recover.
Our goal going into the game was playing fast. We knew that was going to be a big priority for us, and we came out swinging and knew that we just had to, you know, keep going with our transition game. And a lot of shots were falling, which is always nice, right?
IU has now won its last 12 contests against Purdue, including taking the Barn Burner Trophy for 9 straight years. For Terry Morin, who went 8-0 against the Hoosiers as a Purdue player, making IU the marquee team in this rivalry means something.
Whether it's football, whether it's basketball, it doesn't matter. Any sport, when it's Purdue, Indiana, it's always, there's going to be, you know, some specialness, you know, to it. And the fact that we've been able to do what we've been able to do the last, you know, several years has been really, really special.
We were playing Purdue. I think a lot of people know how a kid from Indiana feels about the team up north, and we had to bring it today.
Indiana will now face 3 straight ranked teams, starting with number 9 Ohio State coming to Assembly Hall on Thursday night. The Hoosiers will need a strong showing to end the regular season to prove that they belong in the NCAA tournament.
I think they're huge opportunities. You know, we didn't expect to go on the road last week and drop 2 to teams that we had a lot of potential of winning and beating them. So we know the, I guess, value in these next games coming up.
The keys are we have to take care of the basketball. We have to compete like crazy on the boards. We have to be sound and disciplined defensively. And then we got to, as elementary as it sounds, we got to hit shots.
From Assembly Hall, I'm Zion Brown, IUS TV Sports.